Congratulations to Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the Canadian Conservative Party, who is back in Parliament. Last night, he won the by-election in Battle River Crowfoot quite handily. I think he got about 90% of the vote. So the little message was sent. But my condolences to the people of Canada from coast to coast to coast, because effectively the energy discourse in Canada just had a stake driven through its heart. If you remember back to the election, the Pierre Poilievre's platform, his criticism of the Liberals, was basically give the oil and gas industry what they want. And they made it very, very clear what they want. They sent a letter on March 19th to all the political leaders, and they laid out all their conditions, what they were looking for, regulatory rollbacks and financial support, and on and on and on. And then Alberta Premier Danielle Smith came out with her 9 conditions, which repeated mostly all of that. And Poilievre's response was, I support giving them everything. Give it all to them. It's the oil and gas agenda. So that's where we're going to be at. And I hate to break it to you because, Mark Carney was elected and as, the Liberals were elected, Mark Carney came in as the Prime Minister. There was a lot of fanfare. And I confess, I've said it a number of times in videos, I was really impressed. The guy speaks in full paragraphs, got a PhD in economics from Oxford. And I would have to say that I am not impressed. His performance to date, this nonsense about Canada becoming an energy superpower, well, it's nonsense. Because Saudi Arabia is an oil superpower. It moves markets. The United States is an LNG superpower. It moves markets, prices or supply. Canada is not an energy superpower. We're never going to be an energy superpower. And we should using the words is just silly. It means nothing. It's just a political phrase that means we're going to increase the amount of energy we produce, whether that's oil or gas, LNG, it's electricity, whatever the case. That's really all it means. And that doesn't even begin to address the issues that Canada is going to come up against as the global economy continues to electrify, as we hit peak oil demand in 2029, as the International Energy Agency is now modeling and forecasting. Big changes are afoot, and all we're talking about is doing more of the same thing with different markets. And that's what Pierre Poilievre is all about. And frankly, it's not a big leap to say that Mark Carney on the oil and gas side is no different. He's not proposing anything radically different. On the electricity side, stitching together the provincial power grids, territorial power grids into one or maybe 2 regional grids is a great idea. It's been talked about for decades. And now there's the political will to do it, and hopefully he will do it. But, that's still not radical. Doesn't adequately prepare Canada for what's coming. And for that, we need some national consensus. We need to have a recognition of the changes in the global energy system, the energy transition, the way that China is driving electrification in the global south. That is where the economy is going, where we need to go, and we need to have a conversation about it. We need, as Ralph Klein used to say, politicians don't lead, they find a parade and get out in front of it. And we need to have this conversation so that Canadians can create the parade that politicians like Carney and Smith and Eby and BC and so on can get out in front of it. And if we don't have that conversation, then that is going to be bad news for us. And with Pierre Poilievre in Parliament simply wanting to give the oil and gas industry what it wants, we're not going to have that conversation. He pretty much stifled it last time. So that's my take on it. We will see how Mr. Poilievre performs in Parliament. But frankly, I think we've already seen what we're going to get.